know right by now. And Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has accused, the NIS boss, that is Nordin Haji, of mishandling the demonstration. So he's calling for his resignation. All that coming up in the news. And my colleague, that is Vivian Ndegwa, will also be with you later on in this particular program. So let's begin right there, where President William Ruto declined to sign the Finance Bill 2024 on Wednesday, citing he has listened to the voice of the people and has now withdrawn the bill. In an address to Kenyans at State House, Nairobi, the president said he had conceded to the push by Kenyans, even as he outlined the spirit behind the proposals contained in the bill that were aimed at responding to the government's development plan. Now, our reporter, that is Abdiaziz Hashim, now looks at what happens next, barely 3 days to the start of the next financial year.
Wednesday evening at State House, Nairobi.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
In an unprecedented move, President William Ruto moved to inform the country his decision to stand down the Finance Bill 2024 in its totality following violent protests witnessed across the country on Tuesday.
And listening keenly to the people of Kenya, who have said loudly that they want nothing to do with this Finance Bill 2024, I concede, and therefore I will not sign the 2024 Finance Bill, and it shall subsequently be withdrawn.
Ruto, who was in the company of Kenya Kwanza Allied legislators, in withdrawing the bill, sought to explain to Kenyans the reasons behind the proposals in the bill that was aimed at financing the 3.9 trillion shilling budget.
And I am therefore proposing that because we have gotten rid of the Finance Bill 2024, it is necessary for us to have a conversation as a nation going forward.
The withdrawal of the bill now means the president will have to write to Parliament within 14 days, recommending the bill to be rejected in its entirety.
On the matter of development that you have said, minus the Finance Bill, it means that some of the development programs amounting to 200 billion shillings, we will have to cut down, to delay them. They will have to wait, some of them, for next year.
According to Article 115 of the Constitution, which stipulates the process of rejection of the bill once presented in Parliament. According to the article, the president has two options. 14 days after receiving the bill, the president will sign it into law or refer it to Parliament for amendments. If the head of state returns the bill to Parliament, MPs must either amend it after adopting the president's recommendation or pass it again without amendments. This shall be done with a two-thirds majority in the National Assembly. Clause 6 of the Constitution states that if the President does not sign the bill nor return it to Parliament within 14 days, it will be considered as law. President Ruto has further announced new austerity measures that will affect crucial state departments, including his office.
I am directing for immediate further austerity measures to reduce expenditure, starting with the Office of the President, the entire presidency, and extending to the entire executive arm of government.
Meanwhile, the head of state confirmed that at least 6 people lost their lives and many more were injured during the protests.
Young people, 6 to be exact, 6 people yesterday lost their lives. Very unfortunately, they shouldn't have lost their lives.
Ruto condoled the families and friends of Kenyans who lost their lives during Tuesday's deadly protest, even as he called on Kenyans not to castigate the legislators for voting in support of the bill. President William Ruto has also vowed to deal with corruption.
Thank you, Abdiaziz Hashim, for that report. Now, moments after President William Ruto said he will not assent to the Finance Bill 2024, Kenyans from different parts of the country have commended the move. According to those who spoke to KBC, the move is an indication that the president has listened to the people following bloody anti-finance bill protests across the country. The clergy in Nairobi has, in the meantime, urged the Gen Z to halt the demonstrations.
Nimefurahia sana venye ameweza kuitupilia mbali kwa sababu tulikuwa na malalamishi kama wananchi, na ingawaje tumeona ni kama wamekuja kama wamechelewa kidogo, juu kama wabunge wangefikiria ama wangesikiza maoni na kilio cha wananchi mapema, hatungefika mahali tulifika jana.
Tungemuomba ya kwamba next time asikubali tufika kwa maandamano, angalie vizuri, na Wakenya wakisema hawataki hawataki, wakisema wanataka.
Fanya vizuri kutupulia hiyo finance bill kwanza, lakini kwa kusema ukweli alichelewa, angeistopisha kwanza saa zenye maandamano ilianza.
Amefanya jambo la busara sana kuhakikisha kwamba yeye ameonyesha mfano mzuri kwamba yeye ni rais ambaye alipigiwa kura na wananchi wa Kenya na anaweza wasikiza na afuate yale ambayo wanalia.
Rais, mimi ninakupa makofi ya kwanza, nimekufurahia kitu yenye umefanya. Wewe ni rais wangu ambaye mimi nilikuchagua. Ingalau tujawahi kutana na wewe, lakini ninashukuru kwa ile kitu yenye umefanya. Umefanya kama wanaume 10.
Kwanza ni kupongeza mkubwa wa serikali yetu ya Kenya ambaye ni Rais William Ruto kwa kuangalia na kuwa baba wa taifa, kwa manake ametupilia mbali ule mswada ambao ulikuwa umepitishwa.
Nakuja kushukuru president wetu kwa sababu ya hii siku ya leo, ya kwamba ameweza kurenounce hiyo finance bill, kwa sababu ilikuwa ni tatanishi sana na ilikuwa imeleta mambo mingi, na tunasema ya kwamba it is very very timely, ni kitu ambao ni ya maana, na tunasema asanti kwa sababu ya president. Kama angekuwa amefanya hivyo hapo bereni, tunaona ya kwamba hata ingekuwa hakungekuwa na hii mambo mingi ambayo imefanyika.
Kabla mujapitisha chochote, wabunge wenzetu, watoto wetu, ni vizuri msikize ground inasema nini. Kwa sababu tumeona jana wabunge wakikimbilia huko chini ya bunge, vijana wetu wameamua kuingia mpaka bunge kila mahali.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua now wants the National Intelligence Service Director General, that is Noordin Haji, to resign. Speaking in Mombasa, Gachagua alleges that Haji failed to notify the president on the magnitude of the protests to necessitate appropriate response. The Deputy President claims the NIS Director General frustrated competent officers in the service and allegedly brought in cronies who have messed up intelligence gathering, while lauding the President for listening to Kenyans to reject the Finance Bill 2024. Gachagua urged the young people to end their protests and organize themselves for meaningful discourse, as promised by the head of state.
We have a dysfunctional National Intelligence Service that has exposed the president, the government, and the people of Kenya. Had the National Intelligence Service briefed the president 2 months ago about how the people of Kenya feel about the Finance Bill 2024, so many Kenyans would not have died. Property would not have been destroyed. Offices would not have been touched. There would have been no mayhem. But they slept on the job. I want to say that Noordin Haji must take responsibility for the deaths that occurred. He must take responsibility for the mayhem. He must take responsibility for failing President William Ruto. He must take responsibility for failing the government of the Republic of Kenya. He must take responsibility for failing the Kenyan nation by not doing his job and advising correctly. And he must do the honorable thing, not just resign from that office and allow the president to pick a competent director general. As Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and a patriotic son of this country, I want to appeal to Generation Z to call off the protests for tomorrow, because their cry has been heard by the president.
Now, the High Court in Milimani is expected to give directions on the deployment of the military to restore calm following violent anti-finance bill protests. This follows a move by the Law Society of Kenya that moved to court seeking conservatory orders to stop the process of deploying the military, citing irregularities in the process. This comes as the National Assembly gave the green light for the deployment of the military across the country on Wednesday morning to restore calm.
Days killings of unarmed protesters, the lawyers' body moved to court to stop the deployment of the military, barely hours after the National Assembly gave the nod for their deployment. In the petition, the Faith Odhiambo-led society argues that none of the protesters who are against the Finance Bill 2024 are armed, and thus deploying the military is against the Constitution. LSK argues that there was nothing in the protest that would have been deemed as an emergency to warrant military involvement. However, according to CS Duale, the Tuesday's protests were akin to security emergency following damage. In a Gazette notice dated June 25th, the CS announced the deployment of the military to help police stop demonstrators from invading critical infrastructure. LSK has urged the court to suspend the decision to deploy the military until the case brought before it is heard and determined. High Court Judge Lawrence Mugambi has certified the matter as urgent, and the case will be heard on Thursday. This comes as the National Assembly approved the deployment of the military until calm is restored.
Ruth Wamboi reporting there are 165 people reported for treatment at the Kenyatta National Hospital following street protests. From the number, 72 victims have been treated and discharged. At least 3 people were confirmed dead due to the skirmishes and had from the health facility, that is at the KNH. Addressing the media on Wednesday, Acting Director of Surgical Services at the facility, that is Dr. Benjamin Wabire, at the same time called on Kenyans to avail for a blood donation drive to assist the critically injured.
Hundreds of protesters injured during the Tuesday demonstrations were rushed to the Kenyatta Referral Hospital for treatment, with the facility receiving 2 fatalities.
We've treated and discharged around 72, and the remaining are in the hospital undergoing various treatments. Overnight, we operated 24 patients who are since recovering in various areas in the hospital.
Kenyatta National Referral Hospital Acting Director for Surgical Services, Dr. Benjamin Wabwire, says they have attended to 165 patients, with 1 patient dying while undergoing treatment. 8 victims are undergoing surgery at the health facility, with 20 procedures.
The range of injuries, they are all varied, from blunt trauma to a few gunshot wounds, particularly a majority of them were rubber, and a few, I think just about 6 live bullets.
As treatment for the injured protesters is ongoing at the Kenyatta Referral Hospital, the hospital management has kicked off a blood donation drive, calling on Kenyans to avail themselves for the noble cause.
At the Nairobi County Funeral Home, relatives who lost their loved ones during the riots have appealed for financial support from the government and well-wishers to bury them.
A boy who is a 4th year in Nairobi University was shot yesterday on the head. So we got the news yesterday, last night, from midnight. Then we came here in the morning, but it has not taken us long. So we want to go and get the body and transfer to the next facility.
Haujajipanga na kitu yoyote, kama mimi nafaa nimzike kesho, so niko hapa kutafuta pesa ya sanda, pesa ya kaburi, hivyo kitu kama hizo. Na pia kwa wale wenye watakuwa wanasafirisha mwili, mimi ningeomba pia serikali iweze kuwasaidia. Juu pia kuna hapo katika hao wenye wameuliwa ndio ni vijana, na pia baki zikihangaika.
Indeed, our condolences to those who have lost their loved ones. Azimio la Umoja Coalition has called for the immediate release of all Kenyans arrested in connection to the Finance Bill 2024 demonstrations. The opposition coalition has further demanded an end to what it claims is arbitrary abductions. This as Azimio opposed the move by the government to deploy the military to maintain law and order among the civilians.
As the country comes to terms with the aftermath of Tuesday's deadly demonstrations in Nairobi and beyond, Azimio la Umoja coalition politicians have come out guns blazing. Led by Wiper leader Konza Technology, have pointed a finger at the government over the deaths of the innocent demonstrators.
From our accounts, of the 200, 157 were killed last night by police in Githurai. At parliament buildings, lives of more than 50 protesters, including a journalist and medical doctor, were cut short by the police.
In their address to the nation, the politicians further demanded the government disclose to the nation the criminals who are said to have infiltrated the demonstrations.
Ruto must also tell the nation who these abettors, funders, and orchestrators of the anti-finance bill demonstrations, as he alleged last night, are.
Kalonzo also termed as unlawful the decision to deploy the military to quell protests.
Further to the shock of the nation, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense issued a Gazette notice deploying the military to assist the police in dealing with the unrest without approval of the National Assembly as required by the Constitution of Kenya.
Has vowed to push for the release of Kenyans said to have been arrested in connection to the Finance Bill 2024 demonstrations.
We demand an end to the Gestapo-like abductions, killings, and immediate release of all abductees.
Now, religious leaders and elders have called for sobriety in handling the grievances raised by protesters who have hit the streets demanding for the rejection of the Finance Bill 2024. The leaders, while calling on police to stop using excessive force in repulsing protesters, emphasized the need for the government to engage the youth in constructive dialogue. The Kenya Human Rights Commission has demanded for the immediate arrest and prosecution of officers involved in the fatal shooting and killing of several demonstrators. This as the Kenya Editors Guild called on the Inspector General of Police to ensure the safety of journalists during the protests, saying they have been subjected to attacks from both the protesters and the police.
We urge our youth to exercise sobriety and restraint on the street and social media platforms. After all done, we have a nation that must stand the test of time.
We urge the President of Kenya to speed up the process of spearheading engagements towards resolving the issues at hand, as he spoke when addressing our beloved nation. We also urge the security agents to exercise utmost restraint when enforcing law and order to avert losing more lives.
Our children, our grandkids, please, to allow for what the President has promised, please, if you can postpone any other mass action and take full advantage of organizing how you're going to engage with government.
We urge the youth, and we're saying this in regard to what the President has done. We urge the youth to appreciate this gesture by the President and stop further demonstrations across the country.
Na tunafikiria na tunaomba Mungu kwamba hakuna neno lingine litaharibika zaidi ya hapo tuko.
We don't get any money for it. We are not funded for it. We are just angry that we can actually insist for the last 2 weeks that the finance bill needs to be reconsidered, and MPs whom we elected and who should be representing us can consistently neglect to hear what we are talking about, can consistently or even as they behaved, they can just go ahead and disregard whatever is going on in the country.
Police are supposed to ensure security in a context where you respect democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. So we are watching the space. As they continue being complacent and compliant, they are the ones who are going to be bearing the ultimate criminal responsibility.
On that note, we take a short break. I'll be back with more news.
Kama alikushinda sikubali tu ulishindwa, yaishe.
Wifi, naweza kukuuliza kitu?
Wewe na maswali wewe. Aya, niulize.
Wampenda Jasiri?
Unajivuta sana.
Najaribu kupata njia ya kuifikia.
Jana nimpendaye, barafu moyo wangu. Nuru ndiye kizuizi.
Na ushazungumza naye Nuru?
Ama kweli ya kale hajikumbuka.
One of the challenges that girls in marginalized communities go through. We are talking early marriages, we are talking poverty, cultural practices, and of course, lack of access to education.
Imagine being born in a family of parents who have no education, no formal job, no business. The animals they had have been taken away due to insecurity, so they are just left vulnerable. So by the time I was finishing Form 4, college life, I had to struggle to pay for my fees. Yes. Because already the parents have died. I've told you the story. I'll tell you the story of my parents. The parents have died. I'm there left alone with the other siblings. So I had to look for ways to survive to ensure that I get this education.
Thank you for staying with us. Still on the finance bill. Now, a day after the violent anti-finance bill protests in the capital, Nairobi, traders returned to the central business district to a trail of destruction. Parliament buildings remained cordoned off as a crime scene, with similar scenes witnessed at the City Hall as the DCI conducted forensics, while cleaners were busy picking up the debris and cleaning following the inferno at the City Hall that houses the county government offices. Our reporter Giveson Maina was in the CBD and gives us details of the start of the restoration.
Barely 24 hours after the red protesters stormed Parliament buildings, the atmosphere was a stark contrast of Tuesday's events, the evidence of the destruction left behind, telling the tales of what transpired. Parliament was on Wednesday cordoned off as a crime scene, with detectives combing it for forensics. A communication from the Speaker indicated that non-parliamentary staff, including the media, had been disallowed access. Both the National Assembly and the Senate lawmakers were back in session, however with tight security as armed police officers patrolled. At Parliament buildings, already repair works of the perimeter wall that was destroyed by the protesters who gained entry into the gas house. Repairs were also being done at the County Hall, housing Nairobi's Governor Office, after the building was partly set ablaze. A few meters of the Supreme Court, the aftermath of the protest was evident, as the workforce from the judiciary were cleaning debris from breakage and destruction of the Supreme Court premises. A building housing Uganda Embassy along Kenyatta Avenue was also set up in flames on Tuesday and is under construction. Nairobi County deployed hundreds of its staff to clean the roads of the debris, including stones and tear gas canisters. After protesters trooped to Nairobi's central business district yesterday in the anti-finance bill protest and even broke the perimeter wall of the parliament entry, police have still been deployed today to man security.
Give us some minor reporting there. A family in Mombasa is decrying the death of their 20-year-old son who died in Mombasa, that is during the anti-finance bill protest. Emmanuel Gig-Starter, a second-year student at the Meru Polytechnic, is alleged to have lost his life after inhaling tear gas while at the bus stage. Meanwhile, government buildings, including Bima Towers, which houses various government offices, and Huduma Center at the Central Business District, bore the brunt of the anti-finance bill protests.
According to eyewitnesses, Tata, a second-year student at Meru Polytechnic, was caught in a thick cloud of tear gas lobbed by the anti-riot police officers who were dispersing protesters at the Mwembe Tayari bus stage leading to his...
We were at Mwembe when the police lodged tear gas. They cornered the youth between Digo Road, roundabout, that is Absa roundabout, up to Ken Computers. They attacked us from both sides, launching tear gas canisters where Gigs could not breathe anymore. We walked with him a few meters and he collapsed, claiming that, before he collapsed, he claimed that the tear gas had disenabled his lungs to breathe.
The devastated family is now seeking justice for their son and is appealing to the government for assistance with funeral expenses.
Fees yenyewe ilikuwa kulipa ni tatizo, tunalipa nusu-nusu. Sasa nimepata mambo ya funeral expenses, hizo morgue expenses, sikuwa natarajia. Sasa ni kwamba serikali tu kama itatuchipa ili tusaidie, tulishampoteza mwanangu.
Elizabeth Wanjeri, the representative of the Law Society of Kenya Coast Branch, condemned the incident, calling on police to refrain from using excessive force against unarmed protesters.
Genuine, and I think killing people now makes people even more angry. So what we are saying is let the government deal with the issues and stop this use of excessive force on the population.
Sentiments echoed by human rights activists who are demanding for thorough investigation into the deaths that occurred during the anti-finance bill demonstrations.
Call on thorough investigations, and we want to call not just to instruments of the nation, but all key stakeholders, including the international community.
Meanwhile, these were part of the scenes in Mombasa following violent protests that resulted in the destruction of property. At the Bima Towers, protesters broke into the Office of Civil Registration Services, causing extensive damage. The Office of Weights and Measures was also vandalized and furniture set ablaze. Huduma Center. The locals now want the head of state to engage in dialogue with the youth to avoid a repeat of the same.
Normalcy is slowly returning to the country after a long day of anti-protest bill protests rocked different parts of the country. Business people in different parts of the country resumed operations yesterday, with many counting losses occasioned by the destruction that we witnessed countrywide. Here now is a look at the anti-finance bill 2024 aftermath in the counties, as reported by my colleague, that is Khalid Abdullahi.
An easy calm return in Nakuru a day after protests against the contentious finance bill paralyzed business and left scores injured. A spot check in the city's central business district established that business operations had resumed, even as some operators lamented losses after the protest was infiltrated and went on a looting spree. A considerable number of business owners and operators of public service vehicles expressed cautious optimism that the national consciousness displayed by the younger generation will help ensure that there is accountability in government. However, a cross-section of the business community in Nakuru condemned the protests, terming them as injurious to business and hampering investment. Meanwhile, the Youth for Youth Africa group have added their voice over the deployment of the Kenya Defence Forces following anti-finance bill protests. Speaking in Nyahururu town, CEO Youth for Youth Africa Dennis Ndereva and Chairman Buru Githinji say they are in support of the direction taken by the Law Society of Kenya on the issue.
I'm here to call upon the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, to reject this finance bill and do not allow to sign it. We therefore urge the government and the well-being of our people to uphold the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy. It is through respectful dialogue that we get to have mutual understanding and to hold together.
Finally, over 100 people were arrested in Naivasha after offices of the area MP Jane Kihara were told and Naivas supermarket looted.
Then my office hapo wakachoma paka viti, everything, laptop, whatever, table, desk, zilichomeka zote. After that wakaingia the other side kwa mheshimiwa.
Among the 130 people include scores of women who were nabbed looting the supermarket hours after peaceful demonstration by the youths opposed to the Finance Bill 2024. Naivasha Sub-County Police Commander Stephen Kirui said that they had managed to recover some of the stolen items and were pursuing more suspects following the incident.
We managed to arrest about 130 persons, whom we have them at the cells at the present. We are processing them now. We want to arrange them to be charged in court for, of course, various crime committed within the town, because they started burning the constituency office, and then after that one now they went to the Naivas. Another team went to Naivas.
Now let's look at business, where Riara University is set to become the third educational institution to set up a science and technology campus at the Konza Technopolis. Now, the Chief Executive Officer, Paul Okweri, says the first phase technology and innovation campus will be completed by mid-next year.
Riara University is set to become among the 140 investors that will be onboarded at the Konza Technopolis. The institution plans to build a 20 billion shillings campus at Konza in its expansion strategy.
Konza City offers us an opportunity to be able to provide very, very good access in an environment which is very, very progressive.
The campus will offer specialized training on science and technology.
Also do something about incubation, where you will get young people who will come up with ideas, assist them to implement their ideas.
The institution is seeking to align its training model with the Stanford Valley in California.
The Technopolis, Riara is in the right ecosystem within which institutions of higher learning and research will be able to collaborate and bring the linkage for the government, the private sector, and also the industry to create an innovation ecosystem.
The campus is an addition to the existing two institutions of higher learning after Kenya Advanced Institute of Technology and Science and the Open University of Kenya opened campuses at the Technopolis.
Now, the government will leverage the Northern Water Collector projects to address water scarcity in the Machakos export processing zones. The Trade Ministry reports that the EPZ apparel sector recorded 7.8% growth in 2023 compared to 2022, with domestic sales worth 106.8 billion shillings.
Data from the Kenya Association of Manufacturers suggests that apparel exports currently stand at about shillings. In a bid to address water scarcity in the Athi River apparel exports zone, the government will leverage the Northern Water Collector project, which targets to pump 140 million liters of water daily.
Pengine kwa miezi michache ama wiki chache zijazo, hiyo Northern Connector itaweza kuleta maji kwa EPZ na pia kwa Athi River Township yenyewe, ndio watu wa Athi River wapate maji ya kutosha ya kutumia na pia ya kibiashara.
Trade and Rebecca Miano says government is negotiating for market access in regional markets, including the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, EAC, COMESA, and Tripartite Free Trade Area.
Our market access. On market access, my ministry is championing the post-2025 AGOA extension. Thus far, the US Congress has signaled the possibility of extending the framework.
Vile tumeona kati ya karibu miezi sita ilipopita, miezi sita hivi tumekuwa na investments mpya kama 17. Na hizi 17 natarajia kwamba itaweza kutupatia nafasi mingi zaidi za ajira. So kulingana na projections zangu kama afisa mtendaji, naona kwamba nafasi za ajira zitaongezeka.
A look at sports, where France was held to a 1-1 draw by already eliminated Poland to finish 1 point behind Austria, who beat Netherlands 3-2 and now occupy the first position with 6 points. In Group D, France and Austria are already through to the last 16, which starts on Saturday. Meanwhile, Argentina proceeded to the quarterfinals of the 2024 Copa America following a 1-0 victory over Chile.
Kylian Mbappe scored his first ever Euro goal through a penalty in the 59th minute. Later, Robert Lewandowski equalized the score in the 79th minute.
So it's the second time.
Ralf Rangnick's Austria produced a fantastic display to beat Netherlands 3-2 and top the group, while the Dutch took the third place. England and Denmark among the 11 teams that have progressed to the last 16 after they drew 0-0 with their opponents Slovenia and Serbia respectively in Group C. In the ongoing Copa America matches, Lautaro Martinez's 88th minute goal against Chile was in the quarters. The defending champions were the first nation to qualify for the quarterfinals and will now face Peru on Saturday. Meanwhile, in Group A, Canada got their first ever Copa America win following a 1-0 victory over Peru.
That's where we end the news this morning. Thank you so much for your company. My name is Marie Ambo. Stay safe.
sana toka zamani. Ulivyokaa macho yako ya kijani, ya kijani. My girl, are you the girl for me? So what me want to know brings out constantly. I know time on no waste when it come to me. So run it up, cause you know how to work for me. Baby, not one bring joy to me. Only you know to take all my energy. Only you have my life, so you decide. Make me feel so fine. You know you have a man a real star, man a no twister. Me no galley creeper, man a no deal with that. Cause you know me hot together with platinum, baby. Make my mind so crazy. Now you the party, namtamani sana toka zamani. Oh girl, are you the cutest in the party? So tell me now, give me the light and just call me. You the party, namtamani sana toka zamani. What if you come and try to get Johnny?
noma. Na in the remix tumesasafisha ya kuwakilisha na imetoka bombshell. Abamika na ingoma noma, kwa sababu tunaanza tutakoma. Na in the remix tumesasafisha ya kuwakilisha na imetoka bombshell. Abamika na ingoma noma, kwa sababu tunaanza tutakoma. Na in the remix tumesasafisha ya kuwakilisha na imetoka bombshell. Abamika shikika alafu wika, na kama ngoma imefika basi katika. Bounce to the beat, feel the seat. Alafu get it your seat, kama show kile unacho, fungua macho, jue bombshell tunayo. We got what it takes, tunafanya mu break, mu shake, na to make your body bump and grind. Usimai kile watu wanakucheki, hii ni day ya kubleki. Ukisleki, utapata huna chako na wako msako ni kile ya fa uanze. Hebu mfile tumekaa kwa locomotion, music yetu la potion. Let's set your reason motion, twende kazi kiwaziwazi, bila wasiwasi. Twajua si wote tutaka a good time, bila madai. Na twa believe, hiyo si crime. Abamika na ingoma noma, kwa sababu tunaanza tutakoma. Na hiyo baby tumesasafisha ya kuwakilisha na imetoka bombshell. Abamika na ingoma noma, kwa sababu tunaanza tutakoma.
Sikia mitaani muda mrefu sasa, eti anahamsana na mimi. This boy anasema akinipata sitomwacha. Ana uwezo wa kunipagawisha.
Kikohozi cha muda wowote, kutokwa na jasho kwa wingi usiku, uchungu kwenye kifua, afya kudhoofika, tafuta matibabu.
Hii kazi ya kutafuta bibi ni ngumu sana.
Naweza kutafutia mmoja.
Hai dad.
Ukae na kijana wako, mpange mambo yenyu kama familia. Mimi siko na nyinyi.
I never heard the music so sweet. I repeat.
Well, go on, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth way the vibes in your favorite station. You know these things.
Alafu kila Tuesday, kata simu tupo side, giving you Kenyan music from the 254.
And of course, you can spice up your Wednesday by enjoying blazing hot hip-hop and R&B jams.
We don't got no label. She say she want bottles.
Vibes and vibes as we go all across Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, all the way to Tanzania to give you nothing but the best on Afro Thursday. Make sure you make a date with us each and every single Friday with me, DJ_Liza Diva,
DJ Konza,
and me, Wanjiko. This is Club One Extra.
I hope that was a rhetorical question, Margot. We don't have time to waste today.
Hey Atito, and who do you think you are to talk to fellow students like that?
I can talk to you idiots the way I please. I am now in charge.
Teacher, what are those? What do you mean, what are those? I've taught this many times, I can't have lost count. Hey, Mr. Teacher, maybe you taught that on another class. Nonsense inside that trouser. You think you can put us around as you please?
Ne, Atito Jakuru. We copy exams together always. No, you think you can teach us what exactly?
You know, you're so full of yourself, you know that? This hard head of yours is going to be your downfall.
And now you are talking.
Yes, I'm talking, yeah? And it's regression, not regression.
How are you doing? Welcome to Good Morning Kenya yet again. My name is Vivian Dagwa. This is Entertainment Thursday and I am here the DJ, and our first guest of the day is already here. His name is Phelps M5. Phelps, yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Kofiti?
Kofiti mbaya. Yeah.
You're doing well?
Yeah, I'm doing well.
All right, for the person who's seeing you for the first time, unaweza waambia Phelps ni nani exactly?
Okay, Phelps ni msanii like yeye hufanya madrill, dancehall na love songs. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're versatile. Unafanya several.
Yeah, I do several.
Genres.
Yeah, several. Yeah.
Why did you opt to not box yourself useme mimi nitakuwa tu nafanya this particular genre peke yake, uko diverse?
Okay, I love music, so I choose, like, you know, when you're in music you do a lot of things. Like they are all in one platform. And like the dancehall, the drill, the love song, they all in one quotation. So I love to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting that unafanya drill na bado unafanya like dancehall na bado unafanya love. Unajua si kawaida, si normal, like it's not every day rather that you see mse mwenye anafanya drill bado anafanya love songs. You know, mtu wa drill ni wa hardcore music and then si mtu wa mapenzi like that. So wewe uliamua tu you want to
touch and everything. It's something I love to do, and it's something I was gifted. So I can do this one, I can do this one. Yeah, I know I'm perfect. Yeah, I know I'm the best. Yeah.
Okay, that's the spirit to believe that you're the best. Now, where did this passion for music come from?
Okay, it came from when I was a little kid, like small boy. I love music from early age. I used to listen to pop sounds, pop music, yeah. So that imagination from a child to an adult, listening to music only. So I get that inspiration, yeah. Yeah. So I always tell myself this is what I was born to do. So iliza lokufanya stuff. So I love doing music because music is everything to me. Because this is my passion. I love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you love most about doing music? Like nini nakupatianga hiyo, like the satisfaction of doing music?
What I know, okay, music heals. That's what I know. It's the perfect medication. And inakuanga perfect medicine. So when you said that message to and the experience you have, you know, music is experience. So people can hear your experience and they can learn from your experience. So there are many things about music you can learn from. So one, you learn from experiences.
Yeah.
Two, like it's the perfect medication. Kuna maneza kusikiza alikuwa anasikia poa, so anasikia heal from your music. So that's what I know. Yeah, that's music is.
Okay, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Now, when did you first get into the studio? Can you remember the first time you recorded a song, like your first recorded song?
Yeah.
When was that, and which song specifically was it?
Okay, I started to do it again, and it was dancing. You know, when you start something, it is a little, but I was more courageous. So I did it again because I usually love to party. So back then in high school. So I did it again. So the experience was good. I love the beats. The producer was so nice. The videographer was so nice. So that was my first song.
Do It Again was the first song, the one that the DJ was just playing before we got in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started like last year, yeah. So I've stayed for 1 year in the music industry, and it has been good. The environment is good, the fun. So I love everything, yeah. So, but there's some challenges, you know, in every occasion there's some challenges. Yeah, we occur, but I always say God first before everything. So we always live to God everything. Yeah, yeah.
So you're only 1 year old in the industry.
Yeah.
You know.
But I had some. I usually sing, like. But when I started, I started last year. But I have sing for a long time.
Oh, you've been singing all along, but now last day is when you decided, I'm taking this seriously. Sasa naenda studio, naenda kurekod ngoma na kuwa sasa mwanamuziki for sure. Yeah. And just having been in the industry, you're still very new in the industry. 1 year is still quite young, you know.
Yeah.
If you look at it from how a child grows, 1 year old ni katoi kadogo bado, you know, bado ni mdogo. So for that 1 year that you have been in the industry, what lessons would you say you have already learned so far?
Never give up. Like keep pushing, keep believing in yourself. Don't hurry up. Just the process. Like God's time is the best. We always say God's time is the best. And believe in yourself what you're doing. Because if you don't believe, kama hujamini ke unafanya, like you never go far.
Yeah. Because usipojiamini pia watu wengine watakuwa.
Hakuna watakuamini. And there are people who are looking up to you. So you need like to keep pushing, keep believing, even if there are challenges here and there. Like there are some such challenges. So we never give up. We always keep pushing, keep believing. Like as for me, I have a quote in my life. So like M5 is a quote of my life.
What does it stand for?
So M means my.
Means?
My.
My.
Yeah. So 5 means my God, my family, my fun, my music, my money. So I always put God first before I do anything. Si tusemanga maombi kwanza before siku ianze.
Maombi mbele.
Yeah, so tusemanga God first before everything. So you always believe in God, then put your family second because they will always support you. Then your fan base, then music, then money the last. Yeah.
Money ndo iko huko mwisho.
Iko huko mwisho.
Hujaipatia kipaumbele.
Okay. Mbele, you lose a lot of people. Even if when you get money, when you put money front, you lose your family, you lose your fun, you lose even God because people worship money. People wanna worship money nowadays. So when you focus on God, family, and fan base, and your music, all it will be well.
Uko fiti.
Yeah, uko
Pesa
fiti.
itakuja.
Pesa itakuja.
Hi, you need to have a question for our guest, and what do you actually, before you ask him the question, what's your take on that? Like, you put other things first, and then money will just join in the chat. Money joined the group later. Ama uko wale money, by the money is everything. Where are you between
money
those?
is everything. God first, hapo umesema kweli. Because who God ndo anakudirect venye unatafutia pesa. Wacha pesa ifuate. That's me.
Umeweka money mbele ya familia.
Hapana, familia iko. Hiyo familia
ta. God, alafu money.
Money. You know. But money, you know, money hata saizi sometimes hata the other families kama una pesa wakutambui. Unaona? So you just need to have money.
But okay, the point of correction is like your family needs you without money. They can love you without, just you look for it, utaitafuta itakam. They will understand. So as for me, as for family, is love. Juu ukiwa na family then ukiwa na pesa, utalose watu wengi sana. You lose your sister, like you start kiburi itakuwa mbele. That's for me. That's, I don't know for you.
For you, Nick, amesema yeye.
You know, for that, inamaanisha like if you have money, see at you need to control that money. See your money to control.
Money controls. Okay,
no,
like
that's the reason why I'm telling you, you don't need to let that money to control utapoteza your familia. Unaona? So
there's a say I always say God made man, man made money, money made man mad.
Don't usifike kwa hiyo to make money. You can, but actually you can still control money.
Yeah,
you can still control money.
I agree with that. Yeah.
You can control money. So ikifika kwa stage ya kuweka kwa mad, wewe umeenda bro.
Inakuwa wewe, hiyo ni wewe.
Hiyo ni wewe. Yeah.
Alright, then ask him a question.
Now you said unafanya genres tofauti.
Yeah.
Like unaweza fanya dancehall, unaweza fanya hip hop. So kuna hii genre tu unajua tu yenyewe, this one hii hata nikiamka anytime I can just this genre. Ile yenye unapenda sana.
Inakuja easier for you.
The easiest.
It's for me is drill. Yeah, drill and love song because we're in generation where love controls. So as for me, and the first imagination I can see from drill because drill you can send messages. Like unapeana experience, like experience from your experience, like unaendelea una go through. Then there's this love song. Love song is the experience, you know, as Gen Zs, we call ourselves Gen Zs. People are you are growing in love. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, mapenzi yanarun dunia as it was once built by one musician. Yeah, now when it comes to drill, drill in Kenya is, naweza sema it's still quite new. Haijakuwa for the longest time. Imeanza a bit not too long ago.
Yeah.
Una feel drill paliko saizi people have accepted it the way we should accept it?
Not really, because Abanton has taken the drill, so people now listen to Abanton songs. But as for me, drill, if you listen to drill songs, as for me, it's a deep message. Like, it talks about real life. Yeah, as for me, drill talks about real life, real experiences, and real lifestyle. Okay, like people live. Okay, as for me, what I say, sisi ko church life, but I believe ko fantasy life. people believe wanaishi kwa chocha like unajichocha. But in fact we live a fantasy life. Yeah.
Okay. That's also a mantra you go by. Kuna mantras. Huyu ni kama ndo atakuwa mhenga.
Kwa hiyo generation na Gen Z.
Generation ni one of their wahengers. Now, how do you go about creating your music? You said it's all about experiences. So do you speak about your experiences?
Yeah.
Or do you look at the experiences of the people around you? How do you work on making your music?
I look at tropical experiences. Tropical like from a view of people and my experiences. You can't write your own experiences. You need other view like the neighborhood. You just speak to people. They tell you what they are going through. So you send it to people. Yeah. Yeah.
And when writing, how do you go about it? Like, do you need to be somewhere? Like, give me your process of writing.
Of writing, okay, you go to studio, you give the producer an idea, so he give you the beats, so then you flow. So you have the ideas in your head, so then you write flowing. Yeah.
Yeah, so for you write with the beats. You need to listen to the beats and then you'll flow.
Okay, I can write it without the beats. I can just imagine like how it's happening, tropical. So just write. Yeah. Just thinking how the lifestyle is. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, we live in a time where social media takes over.
Yeah,
you know, from a couple of years back, social media imekuwa ndo inapush wasanii. Do you feel it's doing that for you? And how are you using social media to ensure that inakusaidia kupush muziki yako?
Social media is a good platform. As for us artists, we are so happy. And we are really happy because it supports like what you're creating. Yeah, you know, there are many ideas. So it's really good. As for me, what I can say about your question is like for social media, it will depend with your fan base. That's what I say. It depends your fan base. It depends with the people you socialize with. The people who may be following you, so they may see what you're doing. So it will depend with the fan base you have. So if you have small fan base, that's your level. If you have a big fan base, that's your level. So it has different levels, like fan base. Like so unaweza kuta kama kuna fan base ya watu 1,000. So hao tu ndio wana kusupport. Kwa kuna 1 million. So like Burna Boy has like a platform of high. So yakitoa ngoma inaenda. So it's really to depend with the fan base. Yeah.
Yeah. So is TikTok one of the social media platforms that you unatumia kupush music? You know, with drill music unaweza toa dance challenge. Lakini actually. So do you also like take advantage of that?
Okay, as for me, I know to dance, but I don't know to create dance.
You know how to dance, but you're not a choreographer.
Yeah, I just see what people do, then I do. So TikTok is one of the best platforms we have in Kenya. It really supports like artists, yeah. So when you just give to people, then they push it. Yeah, they just love your work, then they do it for you. Yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay, so going through your YouTube, I've seen you've done a collabo with someone, Khadija.
Yeah, last year, Khadija.
Are you working on doing more collabos? Because you don't have many collabos, right? So are you working on doing more collaborations, and how open are you to doing collabos, and who exactly maybe are you looking forward to work with in the future?
As for me, I love collabos because they're the best. I love collabos because you share ideas. Yeah, you just come with major ideas. I give you idea, you come with idea. Then you know, 2 ends are better than 1. That's what I say. So I love the collaboration because unaweza kuwa umekosea pali, you know, nobody is perfect. So unaweza kuwa umekosea pali, then anaku-correct. Nakwambia si hivi ndio inapaswa hivi. So as for me, collabo in future, I have a lot of people in mind. I have a lot of people.
Mention 3.
Just 3.
Yeah, just 3.
Okay, one is Calligraph and Otile and Wakadinali.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kila mtu kwa kila genre.
Yeah,
Calligraph
okay.
for the hip hop, and then you have Otile for the love songs. Real. Okay, that's real. Ujataja mtu wa dancehall?
Dancehall, I love Conscious. Conscious is my major role model.
So
I love Conscious.
So you're looking to collaborate with Conscious?
Conscious,
No,
yeah.
Conscious is a Kenyan by association. He was even baptized. He's called Conscience Otieno. Conscience is Kenyan. So yeah, you might land on him for a collaboration. Now, let's talk about your latest release. What inspired that song?
Inspired that song, my inspiration for Do It Again.
Yeah.
So,
Do It Again is the latest. So there's another one I saw. But
Change Your Life. Okay, there's Change Your Life.
Yeah.
Change Your Life is a life experience.
Okay.
So it talks about believing yourself and always keep pushing, because when you have money, things change around you. Ukiwa na pesa, vitu zina change. Smile, kutembea, viatu, your house, you adventure rapidly. So I love Change Your Life is a song that talks about a life experience of someone I know. So when he got money, he changed everything. He had to go under process. So when you listen to my lyrics, it talks about how youth struggle a lot in life. So I talk more than struggle in noma. Vijana kuinja kona strugglements za kujenga. So you need to work hard in yourself.
Okay.
So trust the process. Work smart, asiasa ja hawezi collect. And hawezi collect down. So when you believe in God, that God will never let you down. So Change Your Life is a life experience of someone I learned from. When he got money, everything changed. Yeah. And he always believed in himself for money. Hakuna matafutangi pesa. Kila mtu tafuta. Kila mtu tafuta do asubuhi na mapema. So that's there. When you wake up, you just think about money. You just wake up, leo unapata pesa ngapi, unaamka tu ukijiambia hivi. Yeah.
Iko number 1, 2, number 3, number 4.
But for me that song I learned from experience of someone.
So you can tell people where to find you personally on social media, and where they can also be keeping up with you and your music, where to find your music. Okay,
my music you can find on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. So I'm Phillips75, PHALPSM5. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. And all the best in your music. Alafu, what's the future? What should we look forward to from Fleps?
More coming. More bangers are coming.
Okay.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. So when we release, we shout it to you. Yeah. In your handles. Yeah.
All right. All the best, as I had said. That was a Fleps. Go check him out on social media, go to his YouTube and get to support his music. Right now, we take a short break. Don't you go too far, because Entertainment Thursday continues.
Into the ground with the Lord. One of the bounce tracks. Yeah. Professor Jizz on this one. You know what? Mondigo Digital.
Kindergarten mpaka chuo kikuu downtown kama cheese na masista juu mikono juu hapo vipi hapo sawa hapo vipi hapo sawa vipi hapo sawa magharibi mpaka nyanda za juu kanda ya ziwa kaskazini mpaka east is zoo I'm coming through hapo vipi hapo sawa hapo vipi hapo sawa hapo vipi hapo sawa hapo vipi lazima ukae na chana zaidi ya wembe kama mwerevu usinishangae. Misi kiongozi na piganiyo kombozi na kaba kooni zaidi ya jinamizi kwenye njozi. Nasaka haki sio Penda na maji, kipaji sio bahati. Akili yangu sio uwanja majaribio. Neno langu linaongeza faraja kwenye video. Nafikiri nifike, sisemi tu nisikike. Jasho langu linafanya malengo niyafanikishe. Niko tayari jino kwa jino, kumwaga mboga na mwaga ugali. Maisha yenye kamari, hatari ndani ya safari. Kichwani vina kama mchanga wa bahari. Huu ni mwimili wangapi mnawaba kwa vina vya tafsiri. Kindergarten mpaka chuo kikuu. Downtown kama cheese na masista do mikono juu. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Magharibi mpaka nyanda za juu. Mpaka east is I'm coming through. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Ili nifanikiwe nahitaji marafiki, ili nifanikiwe zaidi. Sina tattoo bali na alama ya ndui. Tanzania namba moja, majungu haja sumbui. Mchaka nakimbiza kilo pande, simtumiki kafiri ili chacha shoulder. Ngome navuka boda, muda unazungumza, wamia hapati moja. Podi kwa podi hapa beat mebaki story. Kama zama za mtikira na seda jaga bachori. Naishi biashara daima, siogopa hasara na mara kwa napoza nile kama na hisi cha moto. Napokea matatizo yangu kama changamoto. Nipo ili nife na nena bila kificho. Naitunza heshima yangu zaidi ya mboni ya kitu. Kindergarten mpaka chuo kikuu. Downtown tu mikono juu. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo mpaka nyanda za juu. Kanda ya ziwa kaskazini mpaka east is I'm coming through. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Hapo vipi? Hapo sawa. Unyoona mwanamuziki, mimi mwanamuziki.
Manchester, watende ngoma zikibamba, marabu reggae, funky na magenge, basi kwa mlango kasikia pembe, ufungulia demu wako lipa mahamham, za Andai hizo vitu tamtam. Vipi mama unanibamba na mavitu tamtam. Hebu kam nina maham ya kuzinyamnya. Ukinipa zamzam nitazinyamnya. Nina morale usisabe. Nina morale wataka tambe. Nina morale usinihande. Nina morale.
Kama sitaweza ishi, amini usiamini, mimi naweza kuonyesha tukiwa pamoja. Naona naweza kuona tu kidogo, dakika moja tuzungumze kidogo. Chukuna vile nimetaka for a long time, na sio nyubaya nikiuliza. Nikanaweza kukuona tu kidogo, dakika moja tuzungumze kidogo. Chukuna vile nimetaka for a nikiuliza. Ukipita wanipa sio na kuzungumza. Naona kwa umbali.
Yaishe.
Wifi, naweza kukuuliza kitu?
Wewe na maswali wewe. Aya, niulize.
Wampenda Jasiri?
Unajivuta sana.
Najaribu kupata njia ya kuifikia.
Jana nimpendaye. Barafu moyo wangu. Nuru ndiye kizuizi.
Na ushazungumza naye Nuru?
Ama kweli ya kale haji kunuka.
times I told you I'm the time messing around with your mind, alright. But ever since I've been away, you acting like I wanna play. Do you me feel? Pero yako waza kwanza wapi tofauti yake na sinadoma naye. Whoa. Pero yako waza kwanza wapi tofauti yake na sinadoma naye.
Tu atiwe kukuwa na mita kuwa blanda juu umekuwa bad boy ever since standard 2 kutapa watoi mateke hadi na ganda mguu lakini ajui ya faidi bad boy ndo unanipenda zaidi kila roho yako imechagua ishachagua niyo ni kitu niko sure hata yeye mwenyewe anajua ni Shinski baby una smell fresh Sinikuite Mariah jo vile umecarry ring kwenye belly na smile ya Halle Berry matake ya ni like since ni cheki kwa telly jumi wanga juu ya mighty job kama ferry mi wanga makush na saki busa anapata makush 9 inches kwa boxers abas baby
Pero yako waza kwanza wapi tofauti yake na
Intale kichuo endi physical nipe nafasi nipe hii interval nikuoneshe loving is unbeatable na wambie usintafie tuende nikupe tuima kwa kalenda nikupe agenda kupenda bogi benda
Netia bidii bana sikubali ukinikatana chenja best yako kwani mtu wa nguvu kamili siwezi kwa kila siku najisitizia ndani kwa ndani nipe roho yako nipe kila kitu yako shika maua ringia beste zako shika halua kulisha beste zako
yako waza kwanza wapi tofauti yake na sinadoma naye roho yako waza kwanza wapi tofauti yake na sinadoma naye roho yako waza
Exodus Records.
Ewe Mungu wangu, nimekukimbilia kwangu, yamekwisha, siwezi hata kuona tena, machungu nayo yamenikumba, yanayoumiza moyo wangu, sijui nimkimbilie nani, wa kuponya moyo wangu. Yainua macho yangu, nitazame milimani, msaada wangu watoka wapi? Ila kwa Yesu mwenye nguvu. Ninayainua macho yangu, nitazame milimani, msaada wangu watoka wapi? Ila kwa Yesu mwenye nguvu. Nakukimbilia, sina mwingine ila wewe tu Jehova. Nakukimbilia, Yesu, nakukimbilia. Unichukue, Baba, unifiche, nisionekane. Unichukue, Baba, unifiche, nisionekane, nakukimbilia.
Right now, Entertainment Thursday gets to continue right here and right now. A singer and songwriter who does gospel music. Her name is Mereza Malo.
Thank you.
Ukoje?
Niko poa.
Uko mzima kabisa.
Yeah, nashukuru.
Nataka tuanze kwa kuongelelea the song that we've just listened to, Nakukimbilia.
Yeah.
Niambie is all about.
Hii song Nilitunga kulingana na nilikuwa nikipitia. So nilikuwa nikipitia shida sana. Nikaangalia nikaona ya kwamba anaweza nisaidia ila ni Mungu peke yake. So nilitoa kwa Psalms 121 yenye nasema nainua macho yangu nitazame milimani msaada wangu na Mungu. Yeah.
Now umesema it's a scripture. The song is from a scripture, umetoa kwa maandiko.
Yeah.
Is that what you do with most of your songs? Unatoa kwenye Biblia?
Yeah, it depends. Unapata kama wakati mwingine nyimbo wakati mwingine unapata kama ya kwamba kama hii nilitoa wakati nilikuwa nikipitia mambo mazito. So usiku nikilala usiku nililetewa hiyo song. Mungu akaniambia mimi mwenyewe ndio ninaweza kukusaidia. Mimi mwenyewe ndio shida. So ndio maana niliandika hii nyimbo na kukimbilia. So nilikuwa naweza kukimbilia tu mwanadamu. Yeah.
Ukiingia katika muziki mwanzo ulianza lini?
Muziki nilianza but nilianza baadaye nikakuja nikatulia kidogo. Yeah, with a reason.
Yeah.
So hivi karibuni ndio. Yeah.
Uko willing kushare hiyo period ya break ulikuwa umejipatia ni ya kimuziki ama what was happening?
Yeah. So hii mambo ya muziki kuna kitu ilitokea tu ikanivunja moyo. Hii mambo ya bado nilikuwa new kwa hii field. Sasa mimi songs zangu nilipelekea huyo producer. Songs kama 7 hivi anitole. So kuna song ya kwanza nilitoa nguo ya maisha ni Bwana Yesu. So hiyo song alitoa vizuri. So hizi zingine zote zilitoka vibaya. Na tayari nilishatoa pesa. So nilisikia kuvunjika moyo sana. Yeah. So hiyo ilinivunja moyo. Nikakaa kidogo, nikatafuta uso wa Bwana. Pia Mungu anasema nini? Yeah. Maybe nilikuwa najiforce, sijaitwa na Mungu, najiita mwenyewe. So bado nilikuwa nataka kusikia Mungu anasema nini. Yeah.
Na hiyo like producers, I feel like kuna watu wengi ambao wako na similar stories. Unique can also maybe attest to this kwa sababu umeinteract na wasanii. Saa zingine wasanii, you know, like they take the money and then ikifika time ya kudeliver they don't deliver. So mbona maybe huwa inaenda hivyo ama what happens? Akunanga like a way forward, you just unakuwa tu wewe sasa umeangushwa na ni wewe utafute producer mwingine like there's
according to me zenye nimerelate nao most of them utakuja kwangu mimi ni producer, ndakuja ndachukua idea yako na niambia then the another artist, the big artist atakuja the same maybe time mwenye mpo studio ama the same time inafaa uedit your song what you've paid. They will prefer the one mwenye amelipa more na ni jina kubwa. So yako wanaika kando hata kama ulikujua kwanza. Ama wanafanya tu shady then they so it's all about venye the jina na venye unalipa. Most of them venye mimi interact now.
Maybe Malo, unadhani nini inaweza fanywa in order for you as an artist to feel mko supported to a point where yani ni yako iende like umesema ulikuwa umepeana ngoma 7 but at the end of the day moja tu maybe you know zikapotea. And to you maybe as an artist ukiongea kama msanii nini inafaa ibadilike?
Okay, kwangu mimi nilikuwa na feel reasons wanafaa wawe straightforward. Kama tayari labda akona kazi amepewa na na feel hiyo yako aoni kama atafanya ogeleshe akwambie for now niko na kazi yenye nafanya yenye menibana, of which naona kama hii kazi yako haitatoka vizuri. So for ngojea nimalize hii kazi alafu nichukue nianze yako. Badala ya mtu akudanganye hiyo yako umepeleka pesa amechukua alafu baadaye atengenezi kitu poa. Na tayari pia ushampa pesa. Sasa unajua inavunja moyo sana. So wanafaa wawe tu straight.
Okay, so saizi umesema you're back in the game. Ulikuwa umetake that break after being heartbroken by your producer. Saizi umerudi. So what are you...
Okay, for now na plan kutoa hizo nyimbo zangu zenye zilikuwa zimeharibika. Hata hii worship. So hizo zingine zote nataka nianze kuzirecord. Alafu ikiwezekana pia nitoe video. So sai kae tena. Vile nimeamuka sasa nataka niendelee tu.
Nyimbo yako nyingine ambayo nimeiona kwenye YouTube channel yako kona title funguo la maisha?
Funguo ya maisha.
Ya maisha. Tell me about it.
Sorry?
Uniambie kuihusu.
Maisha. Nilikuwa najaribu kuambia watu ya kwamba funguo ya maisha ni Bwana Yesu peke yake. Uwezo wa kubariki mtu. Mungu ako na uwezo wa kuinua na yeye mwenyewe ndio ako na uwezo wa kushusha. Of which mwanadamu haribu kitu yenye Mungu amepanga katika maisha yako. Mungu akikuinua, hakuna mwanadamu mwenye anaweza kukushusha. Na Mungu akisema ndio pinga. So nilikuwa najaribu kuambia watu wamtegemee Mungu ili wapate baraka. Baraka inatoka kwa Mungu. Watu wasivunjike moyo. Mtu moyo akwambie wewe huwezi, wewe uko hivi na hivi. Mungu peke yake ndiye anajua maisha ya mtu. Kesho ya mtu Mungu peke yake.
So ukiingia kwenye muziki wewe uliingia tu kama gospel artist. Is there a reason why you decided mimi nitakuwa nafanya ministry?
The reason. Yani niseme tu ni kitu yenye ilikuwa ndani yangu. Kwa sababu watu wakiimba yani na feel vizuri, unaona? Na feel kuenjoy hiyo song gospel. So ni kitu yenye ilikuwa ndani yangu, sikuwa najielewa. So hivyo tu baadaye ndio ikakuja kulipuka.
Ni wasanii ambao wako katika gospel, the gospel industry ambao unaweza sema wewe wana kuinspire?
So always napenda hao watu wenye wana worship. Sana sana napenda vile Sarakei ana worship, Ali Mukwana. So napenda worshipers.
So those are the kind of people wenye ambao you look up to. Una feel saizi ya gospel ya Kenya sorry, katika industry ya gospel ya Kenya kuna we have enough artists? Because sometimes you hear people saying, I feel like gospel artists who are into the ministry more than Kenya. Wewe what's your take?
Okay, Tanzania wako wako tu wengi. Si Tanzania peke yake lakini hata Kenya kuna waimbaji wazuri.
Waimbaji wazuri Kenya. Wako, I'm not asking, I'm saying kwa hivyo pia kwako una feel kuna waimbaji wazuri.
Kuna waimbaji wazuri Tanzania lakini hata Kenya pia kuna waimbaji wazuri.
Alright, Unique kuna swali.
Any collab yenye maybe tuna expect collabos?
Okay, for now sijapata mtu yeyote mwenye naweza fanya nayo collab lakini I'm willing. I'm willing.
Sawa. Malo, unaweza angalia ile kamera uambie watu watakupata wapi, muziki yako pia wanaipata wapi?
Okay, ukitaka ingia YouTube, search jina Mereza Malo, utanipata hapo. Pia unaweza ni search kwa Facebook, utanipata hapo. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to the show. Pengine you have some words for the people who are watching you. Kama ni salamu, kama kuna award you.
Okay. Mimi ninawashukuru sana kwa muda yenu yenye mmechukua kuwatch hii interview. Sana, Mungu awabariki. Nilikuwa nataka kutuma tu salamu.
Tuma.
Yeah. Na huko Mombasa kwa bwanangu Kale Botieno, kwa babangu wa kiroho Apostle Joshua Omala. Tena nataka kutuma salamu kwa wazazi wangu huko nyumbani Kisumu, na mama Margaret Malo. Mungu awabariki sana.
All right. Okay, thank you so much for coming. Right now, Rick as DJ Unique takes the stage.
Hata kama ex wako najitisha, na kwa maana wewe kimaisha nitakupa bila kukupima. Mtoto manze wewe umeiva, sio sifa. Kama wimbo ungeua wengi bila hata kujua. Attitude yako vile noma, wewe si softy na umesoma. Natamani vile ndani uking'ara nini ufue nguo zangu, wala karibu kuchungulia njia zao. Ukismail alafu wakulie dabu wanatokwa kijua vile manze mi feel ukipatana na rema ni chibeba alafu we mjanja tena lazima tunira kijua vile manze mi feel ukipatana na rema ni chibeba alafu we mjanja tena. Yeah, this is how I enter. My tracks left, right, and center. Hit boyo. meke oreta, unatingisha madiaba, unachunisha tenje, unaruka kama mwenda pembe, unadombolo.
cha muda wowote, kutokwa na jasho kwa wingi usiku,
afya kudhoofika, tafuta matibabu. Labda ni TB ni ugonjwa wa ukipimwa matibabu yapo utapona. Daktari kwa ushauri, tumia dawa kwa nidhamu. Elimu tupashane, tupige vita TB. TB waishi poa. TB waishi poa.
Maji ni uhai, maji ni haki yako.
Wizi wa maji ni uhalifu unaoathiri sisi sote. Hata hivyo, wateja wengi wa maji husalia kimya bila
Kama utaki kuniambia, ndio hiyo basi.
Nimeamua kuiuza.
Ananunua mpaka sisi.
Gharama zote zile zimehusika na hiyo chakula utalipa wewe. Jana agona screen protector.
Na nini ingine lundia kila kitu kwa sababu nimesikia.
Wasreb tunaadhimisha miaka 20 ya udhibiti wa huduma za maji.
The Cup gets to the semi-final this Sunday, May 26th. Kariobangi Sharks Kenya Police would play FC Leopards. Follow the action live on KBC Channel 1.
Italy is a drama, a very talented drama. He does film at large, but photography here and there. Ladies, no guys, you've done a good job. Yeah, that was the best moment. What keeps me going is the fact that seeing other people started from where I start, and they're quite far. Advice that would be given to young girls: go girl, there's so much out there. Just be consistent and things will just fall into place.
We grew around music, and my father was a big fan of African music, so we used to listen to Kina Melody, Angelique Kidjo. So we grew up a lot around African music, and that kind of shaped my approach to and stuff like that, because we had a lot of African music across the continent, Tanzania, Malawi, African. This African music that I grew up listening to has greatly impacted my approach to production, because I really grew up appreciating and the way the music clearly tells the story of our history and our heritage. And I was like, yo, it's our source in music. So I've always appreciated our sounds, our drums, our everything, and then that has shaped how I approach music. I normally don't create a beat in advance, and I used to do that before, but then I realized that whenever I created a beat in advance, to follow my path, and I would miss out on what they are carrying. You see, like every song is unique. The inspiration is also unique. So if they find my beat, they'll be forced to toe the line and follow exactly that I took in the beat. But lately what I do, when an artist comes, before I listen to the song, I have to listen to them and to know which headspace they were in when they were writing, what's the inspiration, and what they want to say. There's some them. You can only express them. And you see with the audio, you can't see the artist's expression. So we have to do it in form of the instruments and effects and all those things. So I get to know their mind first to know where are we heading. So with the words they're able to express, now I'll add tunes to them that will carry the message, right? Whatever will push the agenda, sometimes even more than what they can say. Because sometimes I'd like someone to listen to the song, off the music, and left with the beat. You still feel the same thing. If it was a love song, you feel loved, or you feel heartbroken, unasikia kuwa mfupa ndani. Try to interpret their mind into melodies and sounds. That is my process, basically. Producers were normally driven by the vision of the song, not necessarily by your typical sound, like, because some producers in, for example, gengetone, I'm good at dancehall, I'm good at stew, whatever. But when we are collaborating, we try to chase the vision. And I like to say that every song has its own language. It has its own, its own uniqueness. Whenever we're doing a collab, we have to give the song what the song wants. So when we are collaborating, if I have a string in this spot, I'll put it. Someone feels like this song needs some African drum, they put it. So I tell you what we're doing, we are giving the Let me tell you, every artist gets a block at some point. So many blocks. Sometimes it could go up to 6 months. No, you're trying to produce, but it's just not working. Like you don't feel the juices flow. In the season when maybe you're having a block, sometimes I describe it as most of the work you do is just generic. You can't feel. So to fight that, you have to take breaks. So like for me, I like to work within the government hours. I'm beginner sana 6 about of year. So you have to have that discipline as a producer to take a break. Hata kama sichukui clients hivi kama mwezi sichukui clients, just so you can refresh, and that way you're able to stay afloat in the game for a longer time. There's clearly a very big misconception about people have associated musicians, and it's a big misconception, but at the same time, even our artists community have played a big role in propagating that. It's false. And I think through, sometimes we do music videos and musicians seem to be and then the general public will assume that these guys, all of these people are drug heads, and most upcoming mentality that I want to be like these guys because I believe na hiyo ndio space yenye uko allowed kutumia madawa ndio labda uchaji. I'd like to say that's not true. even when I came to the game, I found that kind of idea. But udumole wewe liko mkali hivi. Nakamwambia siku utaichapa. The tracks you're going to produce. I don't think Majani najua kumake tracks ama whatever. If you know, you know. Put in the time, put in the work. Zero. If I'm to pick a favorite song out of the songs I've made, I'd be in trouble. The artist will be like, so yangu upendi, ndio maana. So I have to be careful with my words. If I say I like this one, because I really got it. Actually, I'll say this. All the songs I've made, the ones that I like are the ones that are based on true stories. You see, like for example, there's a song called Kitenge by Nviri. That song is based on a true story. So that's one of the songs which for me is timeless. There's a song called Sherehe ya December by some guy called Shad. That song is also based on a true story. I like, just to name a few. Even Calligraph Jones, kama msahau. Calligraph hufanya kazi pia. For the most part, I'm self-taught. Production ever since I was young. I first realized production abilities in class 6. I used to listen to songs like in a Clemo, and then I tried to replicate that on the keyboard. More often than not, it would work. But guys were like, "Hey, who play?" I never say the track kinajiwa board. Hapo nikajua naweza. So all the way into high school, nikaanza kujifanya kuivisha, creating beats and all these things, and then over time nikakuwa trained na Global Art and Entertainment. They took me in 2015, kaanza kunitrain kidogo hapa kule. Then here I am.
Mama watoto malovito mamito pokabiloga etazwa vimbe majipu sitobanduka lizanalishwa mavito.
All the artists is that I'd tell them to stay true to craft and keep working on it. And second thing, don't shy away from our cultures. We have a very rich cultural background as a nation. Tusiogope kuingia huko ndani. Because most of us have been tuned to think that anything sounding Western is good. Western is good, but I normally challenge any artist. If you're trying to be like Eminem, for example, in rap. So if Eminem comes here, you rap mbele yake. Ama ukitoa Eminem, that guy will chew you alive, atakumaliza, because there's nothing extra. Or if I'm a rap fan, and I can get the best version of it from Eminem, so why should I play you? Give me something to work with. The competitive edge. Hiyo ni soba nikiwa shule. Competitive edge. Why should guy consume you and not?